Welcome to Put a Word on It, a podcast presented by Men of Valor. In each episode, we're going to talk with a different man, but each one with a unique journey from brokenness to freedom. I'm your host, Rudy Kalis. I spent over 40 years as a TV sportscaster, then retired and joined the Men of Valor program as a volunteer. So join the conversation. Reconciling men to God, their families, and society. Welcome to another edition of Put a Word on It, brought to you by Interstate AC. You know, I've realized through the years we've been doing this, how many men that we interview and that have been incarcerated had difficult childhood, upbringings where they were just mentally or physically abused, or something terminated inside of them that led to the lives that they went through. They've been looking for love. Michael Zandona is one of those. He has been through an awful lot, but he has come through it. I want you to enjoy his interview. Michael, so you grew up in Oakland, California. That sometimes can be a tough area. Was it?
It was. Actually, I was taken from my mom when I was 5, so I grew up in foster care. That was really rough.
Why were you taken?
Child abuse.
No father?
No father. I didn't know him. I didn't meet him until I was 15.
So at the age of 5 in Oakland, you go into foster care.
Seneca Center.
So that's like a reality to you. You don't understand what it's like to have a family, do you?
Not really.
What was it like? What did foster care teach you, if anything?
How to hide your emotions, how to mask your fears, how to put on a face. You know that saying that your parents used to tell you, if you keep that face, it's gonna get stuck like that. That is real. I had to grow up and have this mug on my face just to kind of keep people at bay and just give that distance. So that is a fact. And I today still have that look on my face, and it's just the way my face got stuck.
Well, you would think sometimes foster care, you get love and you get some attention, but in most cases, in your case, you didn't?
No, not out there. So in the group homes I was in, it was one staff for every 2 children, but it was one of those things where they were just babysitting you. They didn't want to interact with you. They did what they had to do. They were there for a paycheck. They really didn't care about the kids. And all the foster homes I was in, it was the same thing. They didn't care about the kids. They cared about the paycheck.
The money they get for being a foster parent.
Mm-hmm.
How does that lead into your, getting involved with other guys getting in trouble or what?
It involved, it got me into wanting to just go out and take what I wanted, getting involved around gang members, but never becoming one.
Why didn't you become one?
I guess it was God's grace. I guess it was the grace that he gave of intelligence. Like, this is not what I want to do. I've seen a lot of affiliations, especially if you're white, they treat you worse. You have to do more. You have to go and do this. I never was the type to try to follow people. I'm not going to sit here and do something dumb because you tell me to. If I'm going to do something dumb, I'm going to do it because it's my own idea.
So you did it because inside you wanted to just be a rebellion in a little way, just to kind of push the envelope and stuff?
Just a little bit.
How did it really get into serious trouble, and how did it obviously led to incarceration?
So when I came to Tennessee at 15.
What brought you here?
My mother's fear of that life out there. She didn't want to.
So she came back into your life?
Yeah. So my mother's always been in and out of my life through the foster care system. She had her own issues to deal with, so I can't say much because I know how I was.
Right.
And how I am now. So we moved out here when I was 15, and I went in and out of foster care on my own accord. By that time, I had that feeling of like I wanted to be wanted. So I got in with the wrong crowd. We would do drugs, go steal from stores, and then it just progressed from there.
Is it like you get a little bit of love and care from the people you ran with, which you didn't get before? What makes you draw in there?
that attention, that feeling of wanting to be wanted.
Gotcha.
And it was like they wanted me because I was doing the same things they were doing.
But you knew they probably just wanted you just for the stuff you were running and doing. You don't feel like it's for real, though, do you?
At times you do. At times you do. At times you know that it's not, but then you hope that it is. Because you've always wanted that. For me, I've always wanted that family. I've always wanted to be loved. I always want to know what love was. And it's something that's always pulled at me. And I knew it. And I knew when I was doing wrong. It wasn't a mystery. It was me seeking attention.
But so you almost didn't care.
Almost.
So you got arrested for what? Drugs? Sale?
Manufacturing, sale, and delivery, possession of methamphetamine.
How'd you feel about that? Was it like, uh-oh, or was it like, yeah, I'm bad?
The first couple of times it was, yeah, I'm bad. The last time it was more of I've had enough.
How much time did you do?
I did 4 years this last time. I've never been to prison. It was my first time going to prison. I did at Northwest, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. Because by the time I got in the county, I was sitting in my cell. I had just finally woke up. It was in September of 2018. And I heard a voice, like we're talking right now, say, "Are you done?" And it kind of shocked me. I was like, huh? And I heard it again, "Are you done?" And I was like, yeah, I guess I am. And then it said, well, go get a Bible and start reading. And I did.
Really? Physically heard the voice?
Physically heard the voice. Physically was told to go get a Bible. And physically I did as I was told.
Let me ask you this, because I want to continue with that, but there's a lot of guys in prison who get the tattoos and all that. Why did you start, and what was the reasoning for it?
So my tattoo started in California. It was just a big craze, and my mama had them, had piercings. So I wanted the acceptance. So I started getting tattooed and pierced, and it just kept going and going. And eventually, well, the first one, let's just rewind. I'm a cutter. I used to like to cut on myself.
Whoa.
And it was a way to relieve stress. When I was angry, it just was a stress relief for me.
Was it trying to take your life?
No, not to just inflicting pain. Pain was a relief.
You didn't like yourself.
I didn't at all. And so when I started doing tattoos was another way to relieve that pain.
Guys do tattoos, but it's different when you start putting them where you know the public can see you. What was the reasoning of going ahead and doing that?
To keep distance.
It gives you a little cred inside of the prison, doesn't it?
A little bit, sometimes.
All right, so now God hits you between the eyes with that voice. What did you do?
Started reading. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It was a repeat. Those 4 books. The only way you're going to learn who Jesus is those 4 books. The only way you're going to see his character, those 4 books. The only way you're going to do what he says is learning what he says in those 4 books.
Something began to change inside of you?
It did. I started to humble myself. I started to see my worth. I was worthy of being loved. I was able to do better. I was able to do right. I was able to get a job. I was able to go back to school in prison and learn carpentry. And he just gave me this fire of compassion and love for people, where I just wanted to help and I just wanted to do things for them. And it wasn't that I wanted something in return.
You know, it's interesting. Some people have what they call the road to Damascus experience, like Jesus hits them one day, boom. And in your case, he spoke to you, but then you studied and got to a point where I accept this. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you get out and you're accepted at Men of Valor. You're a junior now. Some guys have trouble with the rules here. What did all the rules and the discipline that you needed to be here do to you?
It makes you grow to be a better person, a better part of society, a better human being. This program gave people like me a chance that where nobody else in this world would. I didn't have to fight for a job. I didn't have to go out here and pound the pavement for a job. I didn't have to beg for acceptance. I didn't have to feel alone. I didn't have to feel not wanted. As soon as walking through these doors, as soon as stepping here, it was hugs and, man, I love you, bro. And they showed me what a real family is and what family does for each other through Christ. And the only way to be a man of God is to see how to be a man of God through others that are men of God.
You don't know what real love is until you feel it, and you felt it through him. Wow. Well, you know the name of our program is Put a Word on It.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got a word for me?
John 13:34. Love one another as I have loved you, so that they shall know I am in you and you are in me.
All right, that's a whole verse, but we try to break it down to, is there a chance
Love.
you can just love?
Just love.
Whose love? God's love for you, or your love for others, or both?
Both. Because through him are we able to love each other.
Yeah.
And then we learn what unconditional love is.
You know, you make me think of a song that says looking for love in all the wrong places, right? But you found the right place.
Yes, I did.
And you love rap. Why rap?
It was that genre that I grew up in. It was what I listened to when I was in my mess. So it just embedded in me. But what better way to clean up your mess and using the same forms that you dirtied it up in?
You did a wonderful job. You're going to have a great life, young man. I sure appreciate you, Michael.
I appreciate you.
It's a simple word, isn't it? Love, but that's so important to Michael. He doesn't want to be a rapper. He wants to do a podcast and bring rappers in and have them do Christian rap and then explain to people, because there's a whole audience that would find that fascinating, and what a way to spread the gospel. So we wish him the very best. He'll do it. Thanks for joining us. Join us again next time as we put a word on it.